God damn it, am I... Hello? Am I there? Nope. Commencing countdown, engines on. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Welcome to the show. Fuck. Hopefully the show is just beginning. Yeah, I finally think I figured it out. I think I finally figured it out. I think it's finally working. Maybe. I think it is. If I've got anybody out there listening in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. Because the only indication I have that things are working is I see the little light gray popping off of my avatar and I see my time going in real time. So I'm just going to assume that my fucking stream is working. Goddamn, I'm going to have to put a disclaimer in the comments saying, hey, just skip ahead to the next 20 minutes, I guess. Fuck. Goddamn Google. I normally run this shit in Chrome, and then it just took a shit on me. But I'm running it in Brave now, so hopefully I'm working. Yeah, if there's anybody out there who can hear me, and if you're in the live chat, let me know if you can hear me. All right. Fuck, where are we? Where are we going with this? Where the fuck were we? Yeah, we were experiencing technical difficulties. We were talking about the coof over there in Britain, how they've scaled back a lot of their draconian laws and shit, and how Australia could take a page out of the UK's playbook, and how it's a good thing that we didn't have to resort to William Wallace status, you know. It's a good thing a William Wallace didn't have to fucking rise through the ranks, so to speak. Yep. And then I spoke a little bit about William Wallace, the Braveheart character, you know, from Mel Gibson's Braveheart. We talked a little bit about that, about how a movie like Braveheart, well, you don't see movies like that made anymore, really, in this day and age with the wokeness and all of the fucking bullshit. I mean, if Braveheart was to be remade nowadays, like they'd probably make William Wallace trans. I mean, that's how fucking woke shit's gotten. They would probably make William Wallace trans if they were to remake Braveheart. No fucking joke. Such is the times. Such is the fucking times. Well, I hope I'm coming through. Ground control to Major Tom. All right. Ow, fuck. All right. Let me adjust my legs a little bit there. Yeah. Fucking William Wallace. The freedom fighter of his time. Boy, that motherfucker, he killed Englishmen. William Wallace, he did not like the English. Yeah, I remember Mel Gibson watching the fucking Braveheart commentary talking about the true story of William Wallace. And he was talking about that time where William Wallace went and killed those fuckers who killed his wife, killed his woman. And I guess the true story of that, what happened was William Wallace, he came back in the middle of the night while all those Englishmen slept. And what he did was he burnt them down while they were fucking sleeping, burned them up. And then the legend has it after that, William Wallace had the stench of smoke about him. So the legends say. Yeah, but it's a good thing we haven't had a William Wallace rise up from all this coof shit. Yeah, Britain, they probably knew, like, fuck, we better scale back this authoritarianism. We don't want some sort of rebel leader rising up, fucking painting his face blue and going to war with us. Well, hell no. We gotta scale this shit back. Yeah, in America, fucking, well, it's on a state by state basis. Like some states are a little better than others. Some states a little bit more authoritarian. Like if you're from the East or West Coast, or a place like Illinois, any sort of stronghold that's controlled by the left, by Democrats, it's going to be a lot more authoritarian. It's just simply the way it goes. Yeah, I have relatives in California. They're talking about the masks up there. Like they just litter the streets. There's just so much masks. They're like leaves in the fucking fall. Basically, they're just the streets are littered with masks. And I guess they're finding these masks out in the fucking ocean. Like like the birds are getting caught up in them and shit. Like these fucking masks, they're bad for the environment. You don't hear the left talking about that though. Nope. Yeah, these fucking maskies. They don't understand wearing those fucking masks. It's like you build up bacteria on that shit, and you breathe into that bacteria, and it fucking gets in your lungs, and then all of a sudden your lungs get infected. Then you go into the doctors, and like, oh no, you got the coof, even though it was all induced by the stupid mask, basically. That's the way it goes. People are fucking stupid. Yeah, but what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, Braveheart. They don't make movies like that anymore. You know, one thing I was talking about watching the director commentary, how fucking Mel Gibson would do those battle scenes, how he would chop out frames out of the battle scenes, you know, how in each second of film you got 24 frames per second. He'd take out 6 frames here, 6 frames there, chop out 12 frames, just give those battles a more fucking frantic, more just chaotic feel, more visceral, violent feel. And I remember hearing Mel Gibson say that about how he would film those battle scenes in Braveheart. And I took that same advice and I kind of apply that to whenever I'm writing comics, whenever I'm doing battle scenes in my comics. Like in order to give it a little bit more chaotic, more of a visceral, violent feel, I'll chop out certain things here and there, like and kind of leave it up to the audience's imagination what goes on in between, just to give the battles more of a chaotic, violent feel. Another thing I copy for my battle scenes is seeing how the Coen brothers do their battle scenes, quote unquote, if you can call them that. Anybody who's familiar with the Coen brothers, they do those movies, like a lot of good gangster movies. But you watch the action scenes in any Coen brothers movie, they're kind of stilted and awkward a little bit, you know. But that's how it is in real life, you know. Action scenes don't go down the way they do in Michael Bay movies, you know. They're stilted, awkward. You know, you lose fingers, shit like that. Like that's how fucking battle scenes really are. And I try to take a lot of the best the little elements that a lot of the best directors out there have, and I try to integrate that into my own writing and my own playbook, so to speak. You know, so I that's one piece of advice I give to anybody out there who is an aspiring writer or anything like that, or like listen to the director commentary of a lot of these great movies and hear what the insights these directors have when they make those movies. And it can give you a little bit of well, you can integrate some of that own stuff into your playbook, so to speak, into your own repertoire. All right. Yeah, hold on, guys. I got to get up and take a leak real quick. Yeah, it's one of those nights. Give me a minute. Oh, I got to stretch my legs. All right, all right, all right. And we're back. Fuck. Yeah. I don't even know if this stream is gonna even make it to YouTube. Like I was fucking around with a bunch of shit, and I think I might have accidentally deleted it off of YouTube. I don't know. We'll see if it makes it. I don't know. Fuck. Goddamn technical difficulties. I should have opened it in the fucking Brave browser to begin with. Fucking Chrome. It recommends using Streamyards in Chrome, and usually it works, but, well, not tonight. Hopefully it's working right now. I have no idea. If I have anybody out there listening in the live chat, let me know. Yeah, I have no fucking clue. Maybe I should just end the stream, fire up a new one. Or maybe I'll just keep going. I don't know. We'll get a good 45 minutes in or so. At least. Yeah. It's one of those nights. I have no idea if the fucking stream's even broadcasting out there. I have no idea if anybody's even listening. But we gonna rant and rave anyway, because that's what we do here. Yeah, boy. Oh, Mr. Dong's out there. He does hear me. Oh, okay. Well, looks like it is out there. All right. At least we're broadcasting to one person. Yeah, I don't know if you listened earlier, Mr. Dongs. I was having all sorts of technical difficulties. It wouldn't fucking open. The show was late. Then I finally opened it in a different browser, but the audio was all fucked up. And I eventually opened it up in another browser, and it seems to be working fine now. So, but whilst trying to open up in different browsers, I think I might have accidentally clicked a certain button that says delete the stream off of YouTube, because I was just gonna fucking delete the whole thing and try to redo it. But then I saw it was still alive. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm still alive. So I clicked on it. I'm like, oh shit, I am still alive. So I guess we're live. I've got somebody out there listening. So we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll with it. Yeah, Joe Biden, he's such a fucking disgrace, I guess, that the German chancellor won't even meet with him. Like, he wants to talk to the German chancellor about the Ukraine. Won't even meet with him. Yeah, I mean, who can blame him, though? I mean, Joe Biden, he's a fucking joke. He's just a puppet for the fucking globalists, the communist red Chinese, the alphabet agencies. Fucking demented motherfucker. It's goddamn disgrace is what it is. Fucking disgrace. But hey, what can you do? It's not like you can, fucking grab the rifles and march on Washington. They've already kind of put the sword to that notion, so to speak. The half-naked Viking and the brain-dead boomers got honeypotted into putting the sword to democracy. America's metaphorical burning of the Reichstag moment. Yeah. A lot of people don't know like how bad Joe Biden is really fucking up, though. Like with this whole Ukraine Russia bullshit. Like I'll break it down in case people are unaware, and you're not going to hear this from the mainstream news media, of course. Like I do my research on this kind of shit. But the reason why we're doing all this saber rattling over there, wanting to go to war with Russia over Ukraine or whatever, is well, fucking, what's this, Mr. Dong? Okay, I posted the link here in Yellow Flash's stream, saying Frog was stream sniping them. It didn't work. I tried the, oh, well, at least somebody tried putting a link to my show somewhere. Thanks for looking out. Yeah, but that whole Russia-Ukraine bullshit, what we want to do is bring Ukraine into NATO, which is insane. I mean, just imagine if Russia was putting together some sort of a massive alliance and they decide to bring Mexico into the alliance and go build military bases over in Mexico and shit. Like, wouldn't we be kind of like fucking pissed off? That's basically what we're doing over there in Ukraine. Like, we're trying to like take over this fucking country right on Russia's border. Like, bring it into NATO. Like, it's just insanity. The funny part is every sort of military drill that's ever been ran, every military scenario that's been done, Russia single-handedly destroys NATO, like pretty handily. Like what they do, their very first thing is destroy NATO headquarters in Brussels, and then destroy the major cities of every NATO nation, basically. And just as a show of force, what Russia did, like you're never going to hear this in the mainstream news media. Only here on the Big Daddy Show you're going to hear this. But recently, I think it was today, actually, or the yesterday. It was recently. But in response to America with its saber rattling over there over the Ukraine, what Russia did is, well, anybody familiar with the old movie The Hunt for Red October will understand what I'm talking about. Red October, that fucking super sub from that movie, that like fucking Russia's top secret nuclear sub, Red October. How those Russians tried to take Red October and go bring it over to Americans and give the Americans Red October. Well, just imagine like an actual real version of Red October, but like fucking way more dangerous, like on fucking steroids, like a real fucking Russian super sub that has 160 nuclear bombs on it. This one Russian super sub single-handedly can take out all of America, basically. In response to America rattling its saber over the Ukraine, Russia fucking had one of its super subs slip through our defenses, and it just surfaced right off of our shores, just to show us, like, hey, motherfuckers, this one sub could take out your whole fucking country. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is beyond Cuban Missile Crisis shit. You're not going to hear about this in the mainstream news media, though. Yeah, one of these Russian super subs capable of fucking, it has 160 nuclear missiles on it. This one sub can take out our whole fucking country. This was Russia just showing us what's what. But yeah, I guess Joe Biden's got to protect Hunter Biden's oil interests over there in the Ukraine. That's why we got to go to war. It's just fucking stupid. I've said this before. Like, it's just the height of insanity to look at Russia like they're still our Cold War enemy or whatever, when the reality is China is like our true enemy and always has been. Like, it's just the height of insanity. It's just, imagine at the height of the Cold War, turning the Soviet Union into our biggest trade partner and ally. That's basically what we did to the communist Red Chinese. Like, what we need to do is completely reconnoiter NATO, not as a force to contain the Russians, but rather bring Russia into NATO and then turn NATO into a force to contain China. That's what needs to happen. NATO needs to completely reconnoiter its fucking strategies and focus on the Chinese. But they're not going to do that, though. Oh, fuck no. They still going by this old, like, 1980s Cold War fucking era mindset, thinking the Russians are still the bad guys and shit. It's just the height of insanity is what it is. Yeah, we need to bring Russia into the fold and turn them into our allies against the communist Red Chinese. That's what we need to do. Like any true geopolitical analyst, like and anybody who sees the world as a chessboard knows that if America and Russia were to ever truly make an alliance together, game over. Nothing stops that alliance. That's the most powerful alliance on planet Earth. And the globalists know this. The social engineers know this. This is why they seek to always keep America and Russia from ever becoming friends. It's one of the great tragedies of why we have such terrible leaders. Yeah, it's fucking, it sucks. Because at the end of the day, unless something happens, unless we all wake up, well, we're going to wake up one day and just realize it's over. China is our fucking landlords. They won without firing a single shot. Because that's what they're doing. They're playing the art of war perfectly right now. And that's how you play the art of war perfectly. You defeat your opponent without firing a single fucking shot. And that's what China's doing. You just wake up one day and like that, you realize it's over. They own you. They're your landlords now. Like America alone owns owes China how many trillions of dollars? What if China decided to call in that debt? Like, it'd be over. Like, you look at a country like Australia, how much land does China own over there? When you accumulate it all together, it's like it's the size of one of their states, basically. This is just a microcosm of what they're doing all around the planet, buying up Africa. Like, we cut a deal with them over there in Afghanistan, where China gets all of the fucking mineral resources in Afghanistan. They're playing the art of war perfectly. The globalists don't understand the Chinese are going to betray them in the end. Mr. Dongs writes, Henry Kissinger wrote in On China that China's goal is to win the peace instead of lose the war, since that's what Germany did in World War I, World War II. Yeah, they're you see certain American politicians, like presidential terms, they look at things in like 4-year terms. And then if they get another 4 years, and then they got their 8 years. But they look at things in terms of how much time they have for their power. And the senators and congressmen, they're always just looking out for their own short-term political power to enrich their party and their base, shit like that. But the Chinese, they have a 50-year plan. And at the end of that 50-year plan, they plan to dominate the planet. This is what these Western nations don't understand or realize. Like, China is on the road to a 50-year plan, and they're almost there. They're going to succeed unless we intervene somehow. All the Western nations of the earth got to band together. Like, I've gave the whole blueprint for taking down China in previous episodes. It's not that fucking hard, really. It really isn't. All it takes is a little strong leadership. Yeah, Mr. Dong says Germany entered the 20th century as the most industrial developed manufacturing nation on earth, but blew it with 2 world wars. That's where China is now, but they're smarter than Germany. Yeah. Yeah, they learn. You learn from the mistakes of your past. Those who fail to learn from their history are doomed to repeat it. Yeah, the Chinese, they were the ones that fucking hand in hand with the globalists ushered in this coof bullshit, brought Western civilization to its fucking knees. Hopefully the people stand up, though. Hopefully. But in America, it's on a state-by-state basis. As long as these leftists control these blue states, like, America is still gonna be fucking, gonna be tied down. Because the left is so corrupt with their voter fraud. Like, once they take control of an area, it's like a fucking cancer. Like, it's hard to cut that shit. Like, in a place like California, the fucking corruption is so systemic at every fucking level. Like, you're never gonna turn that state. In a state like New York, same way. There are certain states where the corruption is just so systemic. Like, you can't overturn it. And even though most people know it's all bullshit and it's not all nonsense, these fucking asshole leftist politicians are still going to pass laws to make you wear masks, still going to pass laws to force that fucking poison into your blood. Boy, the people are waking up to the jab, though. I mean, that fucking shit is dangerous, I'm telling you. I mean, all you gotta do is look at what's going on with the soccer players. How many of these young men in their 20s are just keeling over, having heart attacks and shit? That's not normal. That's not supposed to happen. And all the soccer players have to have the fucking jab. Yeah, there's going to be well, I was going to say there's going to be a lot of lawsuits over this, but one of the reasons why they're trying to push the jab onto the children, like I've said this, well, at least how it is in America, there's certain laws on the books that vaccines for kids, like, they're completely exempt. The pharmacy companies are completely exempt from getting sued if something happens to the kids. So that's why they're trying to push the jab onto the children, because if it gets approved for the children, then if adults get fucked up by the jab, then they can't sue the goddamn companies either. It's real insidious shit. These people need These people need military tribunals, is what they need. They need tried for their fucking war crimes. This is a war they're waging against mankind, is what it is. A war for the soul of man. Yep. War for the soul of mankind. They may take our lives, but they will never take our freedom. Yeah, these motherfuckers, they're no good. Been trying to manufacture a goddamn race war since the 1960s. I don't know if anybody knew that one. But one of the few good things Trump did while he was president is he declassified some of the Kennedy papers, and amongst the Kennedy papers was how revealed how the CIA has basically been trying to start a race war since the 1960s. Then you see what they did with the whole George Floyd bullshit and the BLM nonsense. I mean, it's just a continuation of what they're trying to do, basically. Crab radio. Charles Manson knew. Yeah, that was part of Charles Manson's whole spiel, whatever. But anybody who truly knows the story of Manson, let me give you a little insight about Manson in case you guys didn't know this already. But Manson, he was a CIA asset, and when he was in prison, him along with a lot of other people, including Whitey Bulger, like this was the time CIA was heavily involved in a little thing called MK Ultra. This is where they're trying to, it's all about controlling people's minds through various methods. And one of the things they wanted to do was to see what LSD would do to the human mind. And they were doing all sorts of experiments on prisoners. And Manson was in prison for a stint when they were doing these LSD experiments. And like I said, part of the whole CIA's thing is to, start a race war. Who do you think implanted that idea into Manson's mind? But anyway, yeah, Manson, he was in and out of jail. Like he should have been put in jail for a while because he was a career criminal. But every time he got put in jail, like his handlers would figure out a way to get him out. Like he was a CIA asset. What they were doing was what you see with the MK Ultra program, they were trying to figure out how to create slaves, basically, how to control people through various methods and means. And what they saw Manson accomplishing, like, was what they were wanting to accomplish. Like, so what they were doing was studying Manson and how he was going about his methods of controlling people and whatnot. And that's one of the reasons why Manson was allowed to operate. He was a CIA asset. In a lot of ways, he was a part of an experiment. It was MK Ultra shit, is what it was. But yeah, you could look back on this. There's books written on this shit. I'm not fucking around. Yeah, and one of the things, like Roman Polanski, the dude, he was his woman Sharon Tate. She was killed. That Roman Polanski, he was not a good dude. Like he was an evil motherfucker. Like anybody who truly knows Roman Polanski, he's one of these Hollywood Satanists who films snuff films for these people and shit. And I guess when the police were at the crime scene over there at Sharon Tate's, they recovered some film from a camera or whatever. And the official record was, it was a sex tape of Sharon and Roman Polanski. But the reality was the people that actually saw it was Roman. He was filming Sharon being raped by two men. Like these people are fucking evil. That's the bottom line. Yeah. Yeah, Satanism is a real thing. Yeah, a lot of these Christians don't understand. Your average, all of the churches across not only America, but all of Western civilization. Like in every fucking church there's at least, I'm telling you, at least one Satanist. Like what these Satanists like to do is target churches. And what they do is what's called splitting a church. And it usually involves getting into a sex scandal with a 15 or 16-year-old girl. But there's just one thing they do. But there's the real high level ones that actually commune with the demons. And what they do is They actually attack the members of the church and sever their connection and their spirit to the Lord and Jesus and shit like that. This is why there's so many Christians out there that you look and they seem so dead and soulless. You just see it in their eyes. There's nothing there. There's no light there. It's because they're victims of spiritual warfare. They don't understand it. Like your average Christian, I've said this before, they're like lambs for the slaughter. Like they've been socially engineered that way. Like this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's various forms of Satanism. You don't know anything about Santeria, do you? Yeah. That's you see, Africa is the oldest civilization, whatever. That's where we all come from. Well, that means the oldest religions would be in Africa. The Santeria, that comes from Africa. The slaves, they brought that over to the Caribbean and into America. Anybody knows about Santeria knows this is some high-level demonic magic. And this is from the first fucking civilizations of people. Now, within the high levels of Santeria, this demonic magic, there's this thing called Palo Mayombe, probably one of the most wicked, dangerous forms of Santeria. But Palo Mayombe, it involves summoning demons and worshiping demons. Now, anybody familiar with Palo Mayombe knows there's various sigils that are associated with certain demons, and there's certain methods of summoning them. Now, here's the kicker. These same exact demons that are part of Santeria, Palo Mayombe, that kind of shit, are the same exact demons that are found in what's called the Lesser Keys of Solomon. They're called Goetia. They're Jewish demons is what they are. There's 72 of them altogether. There are various forms of summoning them. Each one can do different things. The most powerful of these demons is a creature called Baal, B-A-A-L. But your average Christian preacher will never fucking tell you about this, because the Book of Solomon was omitted from the Bible for a reason, because they don't want you to know about these creatures. But I'm just telling you the tip of the iceberg here. A lot of these people familiar with Santeria, Palo Mayombe, who are capable of summoning these demons, they can put curses on people. These demons can do certain shit to people. And a lot of times what they do is they sick these demons on Christians and sick them on churches. And what they do is they like to sever the spiritual connection between the Christians and their God and Jesus and shit like that. This is why I said this is why Christians, they feel so weak, why they stink of weakness, is because their spirits have been taken from them, basically. That's why they're so dead and soulless. They don't understand that spiritual warfare is being waged against them. But if you walk hand in hand with God, the one true God, then Satanists, people who practice Santeria, that kind of shit, they just instinctively know to stay away from you. Their demons tell them, hey, don't fuck with that person. They're too strong spiritually. You can't fuck with them. And it's all about cultivating a personal one-on-one relationship with God, cutting out the fucking middleman. That's what it's all about. Because if you're strong enough spiritually, then those fucking Satanists can't fuck with you. Because they wage spiritual warfare, not just on Christians, but all of good, decent people everywhere. I'll give you an example. In the state of New Jersey here recently, they just passed a law, abortion law, that allows them to kill the baby up to the moment of birth. I'm not fucking joking. Now, anybody who's studied Satanists the way I have, knows that abortion is like it's the foundation by which Satanism is fucking built upon, basically. Because at the end of the day, what abortion is, it's nothing more than child sacrifice. And these Satanists know it. These leftists, they know it. This is why abortion is so important to the Democrat Party. It's the entire Democrat Party is basically built upon a fucking mountain of dead baby fetuses. This is why the left is pure satanic. Because their entire fucking political religion is built upon abortion. And abortion is nothing more than a churched up form of child sacrifice. yeah, what these Satanists do. And they say within every abortion clinic across the country, there's at least one Satanist working there, because these abortionists, they perform the abortions there. It's part of the ceremony or whatever, and it's part of some sort of a spiritual energy they extract from the baby the moment of killing it or whatever. Now anybody could look back the book of Enoch, the 9 fallen angels that came down and taught mankind the various things that corrupted them or whatever. And there was this one fallen angel by the name of Kazdasia. It was a demon is what it was. But you can look this up, the demon Kazdasia. But what this particular demon did was it taught mankind the power of sacrificing their children in their wombs. Like, this is some real shit I'm talking about. Abortion is child sacrifice. And these Satanists know it. This is why when they changed their algorithms here recently, this is why you can't mention the words abortion and Satanism in the same sentence, or else some sort of algorithm will pick it up. It's because they don't want your average fucking normie knowing that how connected the two things are. Yeah, these people are fucking evil. But there's all sorts of forms of Satanism. Like I said, and then there's like a kind of Hollywood level Satanism, Anton LaVey Satanism. Like, anybody look up this clown called Anton LaVey. He's founded this thing called the Church of Satan. But yeah, a lot of it's real fucking stupid. But this guy Anton LaVey, who fucking started this Church of Satan, it eventually became like yeah, Mr. Donks, LaVey and Satanism equals cringe. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, a lot of the people within the LaVeyan Satanism knew how cringe it was. And there was this one dude in particular who got so fed up with the LaVey Satanic Church that he decided to leave it and start his own church. Now, what this dude did was he went into deep meditations and shit, try to find the real Satan and get in contact with Satan. And what happened was some being did contact him, and he gave him all sorts of information and shit, said that this particular being was the same being that that the ancient Egyptians worshipped. It was the same being that corrupted Adam and Eve or whatever. And this being said that that people have got its name wrong. What its real name is Set, S-E-T. That's what its real name is. So what this dude was, he created this new temple of Satan, only he called it the Temple of Set. This is the true Church of Satan. Now, the Temple of Set, they don't fuck around. They actually get engaged in like human sacrifice, like fucking real crazy Satanism. Like because this guy, he was in contact with this fucking creature. Now, anybody, you might, damn it, Raina, welcome, man. But yeah, the Temple of Set, it may sound familiar to some of you people, because anybody familiar with old Robert E. Howard or Conan the Barbarian? Like, Robert E. Howard, he wrote this whole mythos called the Hyperborean Age. Now, what he did was he created an entire legend of fake people and shit that didn't really exist, that took place after the Great Flood, after the fall of Atlantis. And he tried to fill in what took place after that with what came as what we know, regular civilization. And he called it the Hyperborean Age. Now, Robert E. Howard, he came up with a lot of like crazy stories for Conan the Barbarian. And Robert E. Howard, he was kind of a weird dude. Anybody who knows him. Like, these Conan stories are like real hyper masculine stories, real heroic stories. But to Robert E. Howard, after his mother died, Robert E. Howard went out to his pickup truck, grabbed a fucking pistol, and shot himself in the head and killed himself right after his mother died. Like, I think, how could a dude like who wrote all those so fucking like cool masculine stories just simp out and kill himself because his mom died. Didn't make didn't make no damn sense to me. But then I got to thinking. I heard what a remote viewer said one time about the key to remote viewing, like how the army would choose these certain people for their remote viewing program. Anybody doesn't know what a remote viewer is? It's kind of like a military trained psychic, is what it is. And these remote viewers, they would always be like the weird ones, the oddballs, so to speak. And one thing that you learn about remote viewing is there's a thing called uncontrolled remote viewing. It's where you're capable of looking into the past, future, just unaware that you're actually looking into the past or future, but it's just done through pure imagination. And a lot of these people who do uncontrolled remote viewing are actually people who create great forms of literature and fiction. The H.G. Welleses of the world and shit. The stuff in which the stuff they write about actually comes to reality. Now, when Robert E. Howard was writing his Hyperborean Age, he wrote about this thing called the Temple of Set. And what the Temple of Set was, it was a snake cult. And it was a real evil, demonic snake cult that people, they worship these snake gods. These like shape-shifting reptilians is basically what it was. And I always got to think, where did Robert E. Howard pull that from, you know? And I got to thinking, maybe he was working on some sort of a different level. Like he had some sort of uncontrolled remote viewing. And this Temple of Set shit actually was real. This dude I was talking about, this former Anton LaVey Satanist who created his own sect of Satanism and called it the Temple of Set. Like, I wonder if there was something to that. Yeah, but the U.S. Army actually recognizes Satanism as a real religion, believe it or not. Not just Satanism, but they recognize the Temple of Set as a real religion too. Yeah, we talked about MK Ultra a little bit earlier. Now there was a certain part of MK Ultra called Project Monarch. Anybody who's familiar with Project Monarch is going to know what I'm talking about. But Project Monarch was all about creating the perfect slave, basically. And what they would do with these slaves is populate them in the various areas of government. That way, the CIA would have full control over the government. Anybody who fully familiar with Project Monarch actually knows that Barack Hussein Obama was the culmination of Project Monarch. Like the perfect CIA plant who was groomed from a child, basically, to be put in that position. Now, the whole crux behind Project Monarch was, in creating these slaves, was you had to get them young as children. Now, what you would do is, after you had them as children, is you would completely break them and then fragment their minds and create separate personalities that you could program and then activate those personalities at will, kind of like Manchurian candidates, so to speak. And the way to break these children would be through just terrible sexual abuse. And that's what Project Monarch was. They were taking these children, just completely sexually abusing them, and then trying to turn them into slaves. Now, here's the kicker. The guy who headed up Project Monarch was a guy named Michael Aquino. Now, who this Michael Aquino guy was, he was also that same guy I talked about, who left Anton LaVey's Satanism and created his own version of Satanism called the Temple of Set. That's right. The army sanctioned Michael Aquino, the head of the Temple of Set, to run Project Monarch. This is reality. Our own fucking U.S. government was fucking working hand in hand with Satanists, hurting children. This is reality. There's a reason why America is called the Great Satan. It's because we are. Like in the grand scheme of things, America is actually the bad guy. You want to know who the good guys are in the grand scheme of things? It's actually the Russians. Like the Russians are actually the good guys in the grand scheme of things. I know it's hard to believe. But yeah. Yeah, these fucking Satanists, they're fucking wicked. And when God needed an army of fucking Templar knights to protect the earth in our hour of need, what do we got instead? A bunch of sheep. We're going to allow themselves to be fucking slaughtered, basically. One Big Daddy show, the sermon you can get from one Big Daddy show is worth a lifetime of sermons from your average fucking Christian preacher. This is reality. Like, Christianity is so weakened to the point where, well, evil is on the verge of winning. It's all because the Christians were socially engineered this way. They don't understand it or realize it, though. Your average Christian preacher doesn't even know what a Goetia is. If you were to ask them what a Goetia is, they would have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Spiritual warfare. The way to protect yourself: develop a personal one-on-one relationship with God. And if it's hard for you to get to that point, begin living a righteous life. Start with the golden rule: do unto others as thou would have done unto you. Start living that way. Cut out the middleman. Get rid of religion. Religion is for the weak. Develop a personal one-on-one relationship with God. The one true God. Because there are various forms of, you call them demigods. Because I've explained this before in other shows. Imagine a Russian nesting doll. You know those dolls that you open up, there's another doll on the inside and another. It's kind of like that's how it is with creation. There was one true God that created it all. And from there, another little group of demigods created another group, so on and so forth. And some group created us, and the group that created us, they were created by another group, And that's the crux of demon worship, is these people that worship these other beings that create other beings. That's the ones that are in the middle of the Russian nesting doll sequence. When the key is to commune with the one true God, the one that created it all. Cut out the middleman, so to speak. That is Big Daddy's advice. All right, guys. I'm going to get up and take a leak, kill this beer. Maybe we'll sing a song or two, and then we'll close out the stream. Actually, I think I do have the Streamyard's link in the description, I think. If anybody wants to pop on and chop one up, the Streamyard's link is in the description. All right, we're going to take a couple-minute break. We'll sing a song or two, close out the stream. Maybe we'll take a guest. I don't know. We'll see. Booyah. All of my enemies out for my cheese. Watch your back, ninja. I've been watching you since the last ninja. Player haters come and try to take what's mine. Cross that line, gotta get mine. All right, all right, all right. Well, hopefully I'm still coming through. We're back, we're back. All right. Let me get comfortable here. The age of Kali Yuga will spill forth on the commands of the Rex Mundi of underground Agartha. Yeah, anybody familiar with Britney Spears? A lot of people think she was a victim of Project Monarch. A lot of the people out there, the stars, child stars that came up, shit like that. Yeah, a lot of people, famous singers and shit, they get brought into the fold, you know. Like Kurt Cobain, for instance. Anybody knows the story of Kurt Cobain knows that Courtney Love, the woman he was with, she was his handler. That's who Courtney Love was. Like, she had deep connections to the CIA. Keep him hooked on drugs, keep him weak, and then bring him into the fold and have him become part of these secret societies and shit like that. Yeah, but Cobain, I guess he wanted no part of it. At the end there, he went to rehab, decided to get clean, was going to divorce Courtney or whatever. She saw the writing on the wall. That's when they took care of him. Yeah, Cobain, he didn't kill himself. They took care of him. That's what happens when you don't play along with these people. You should read Ferdinand Ossendowski, Large Father. It will change your life. Google it. You'll have to check that out. Ferdinand Ossendowski. Yeah, anybody hear about the Tifa porn being played in front of the Italian bigwigs over there? I guess over there in Italy, they were having a Skype meeting, and somebody started playing Final Fantasy VII porn. Tifa Lockhart. That's pretty fucking hilarious. Yeah, wasn't it some CNN leftist that was like just fucking jacking off on goddamn Skype too? It's always fucking leftists. Why is it always these fucking leftists? Well, because they're fucking degenerate, that's why. Courtney Love's parents were close to the Grateful Dead. She's on one of the album covers. Huh. Yeah, Grateful Dead, there's a whole story behind that too. There's this guy called Owsley Standish. He was with the Grateful Dead, like he was supplying them with their drugs. But yeah, he was a CIA asset too. Like all of the LSD and shit was being provided by the CIA to their handlers, who were then distributing it around and shit like that. Like another part of their whole thing about Manson was to paint a picture of the hippie movement as some sort of crazy, insane movement too. That was one of their objectives as well. Yeah, but that was one of the cruxes of the MK Ultra program, to try out all of the fucking various drugs on people and see how they would end up fucking with their minds and how they can control their minds. And one of the things they figured out about drugs during the MK Ultra program. Now, this is the reason why like hardcore politicians despise marijuana so much, and they just hate marijuana. They look at it as the most lowest form of drug there is. Because when they were conducting the MK Ultra experiments, they figured out that people who smoked marijuana regularly, it was extremely hard to mind control them. And after you had been mind controlled, after you started smoking marijuana afterwards, it could break your mind control. And that's the reason why they despise marijuana so much. Is because it frees your mind from them. It gives you an independent mind. And what they want to do is control your mind. It makes you really hard to mind control. And if you've been to mind controlled, it can break your mind control programming. Yeah, this is why they despise marijuana so much and why it's been a class 1 drug for so long up there with heroin and all that shit. Yep, this is true. And I speak the truth. So you must make your peace some other way. Thank you all for coming out. I guess we'll go ahead and close out with a song. Maybe a song or two, I don't know. You're far, far away from my window. Leave at your own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. And I'm not the one you need. You say you're looking for someone, never weak, but always strong, to protect you and defend you, whether you are right or wrong. Someone to open each and every door, but it ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for, babe. Go lightly across your ledge, babe. Run lightly across the ground. I'll never pick you up, babe. I will only let you down. You say you're looking for someone who would promise never to part, to protect you and defend you, someone to close his heart. Another of your life, nothing more, but it ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for, babe. Or is it? Maybe. I had a burp there. That burp started at the beginning of the song. Like, fuck. I can't believe I finished that song. That burp held in. Oh, there we go. Yep. Yeah, thanks for coming out, y'all. We had a little rough start there at the beginning, but I think we rebounded quite admirably. At least we got a good hour's worth of content in. At the end of the day, as long as I get in a good hour's worth of content, that's all that matters. And I don't practice Santeria. Ain't got no crystal ball. If I had $1 million, well, I'd spend it all if I could find my Hannah and that Sancho that she's found. I'd pop a cap in Sancho and I'd slap her dad around. But I really want to know, my baby, I really want to say is I've got mine. Oh yeah, my baby. You don't know what it's good for. You best go running high. Daddy's got a Colt 45. Whoa. Watch out, y'all. Pop, pop. Wouldn't that be gonna smoke them boulders out? Just peg me a fat green bun and I will smoke it all out with that China ice and the savoir faire. No one in the whole universe could ever compare. Oh yeah, I am yours now and you are mine and too. Together we'll laugh through all space and time. No, don't cry. Come day or daddy will die. Thanks for coming out.